Oops. Sorry, forgot to share my screen. Anyway, this video is going to cover dealing with angled surfaces that intersect. This will be the lead in for drawing problems or exercises 7.6 and 7.9 from your textbook. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to create, something that looks very similar to what we have in exercise 7.6. We'll make that a little bit bigger. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's do this. Didn't mean to do that. Need to quit being in such a hurry. And since the right-hand side view, I didn't want to copy it. Just want to move it. Since the right-hand side is a square, then the top view and the front view will be pretty much the same. So I'm going to copy front view up so that we have a top view. Now, when you look at 7.6, you're going to see that you've got basically 4 flat surfaces that are coming in at angles. So I'm going to try to replicate that as best I can. I'm going to draw that circle right there. Let's see, let's make that 4 1/4. And I'm going to draw a line from here. Let's see, let's rotate that around that point right there, 30 degrees. And then I'm going to mirror this line to the bottom. And then I'm going to trim. Oh, I'm using my computer on my desk, so what I'm dealing with here really isn't the same as it I have in the classroom. Anyway, what does this do in the right-hand side view? Remember, all we're doing is just taking and making 1 cut on the top of the part, 1 cut on the bottom. Okay, when I look at the top view, I get that. I get that edge. No. Now, when I look at the right-hand side view, I get these 2 edges projecting over. One of the things that you're going to find is this: the more difficult these parts get and the more you have angled surfaces intersecting, and you've got intersections with cylinders and things like that, the ability to project points becomes critical. And I'm hoping that you've kind of figured that out by now, and you're starting to take projection a little more seriously. Now, what happens if, just like our drawing from our textbook, we end up with 2 more cuts at angles? One there in the top view, and mirror this. So we'll trim. So what does this do? Well, now that we've got these edges right there, I end up with an edge in the front view. So what does this do in the side view? Well, I didn't put my miter line in, so let's go ahead and do that while we're here. So if we bring these 2 points over to our miter line there, and then I bring them down, and you can actually look at the part in the textbook and you can see how this square surface right here comes to be. Okay. Now, that square just can't sit there. I mean, that square is here. This one's out. This square, which is, again, this outer square, they connect. How do they connect? Well, if you'll notice, this point right here, where my cursor is that point. That point is that point, okay? I mean, if you look at it and think about it for just a second, you see that you're going to have those connecting lines there. And that's where all of this comes from. So now when you look at 7-9, it's the same thing. You've got to get the angles put where you see them, and then and where they're not evident, you've got to project that information from the other two views to create those intersections. So this is how you would create these trapezoidal surfaces, by having these two cuts you see in the top view and these two cuts you see in the front view. So you got to project all this information from there over here. So as you're working on exercises 7-6 and 7-9, pay attention to your projections.